do that. Girl, I'm working. What do you want? I don't want to take this.
Wake up and rise up in your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday. Pay it forward Friday, we'll season the day. Digital finance, harmony of love, serving food the what goes to rising as the beat and it Eastern on P2G.
But I'm not.
Breakfast with the Thomases, come meet me.
2, 3 more strawberries.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing today? Let's get my camera up. All right. Welcome. This is Breakfast with the Thomases, Grand Rising. This is Work It Out Wednesday. How is everybody doing today? Oh, man, yeah.
My coach is at like 3:30.
We got a rare treat for you guys today. We got a very, very rare treat. We got one of my boys from way back in the day. We're on this morning with Larry Wiggins Bay. Brother Larry, what's going on there?
Y'all hear me?
We got you crystal clear, man. We got you crystal clear. What's going on? I see the day is getting started for you, live and direct.
Early as always.
Oh, man. Love to have you. Yo, Larry, we go back how far? Oh, about 8, 9 years. Oh, Larry, we just lost you on camera. Oh, here we go. You're repositioning. Hit your mic. Okay, we're having some technical difficulties here. We can't hear your mic.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay, let me make sure it stays on real quick. Okay, boom. Okay, my bad. Technical difficulties. I hit the wrong button. But you said how long have we known each other? Bro, since like 2016, 2017?
We go way back.
A couple years before the pandemic, like long enough where we were saying things is finna change and people thought we was crazy because they didn't see it coming that long.
But that's a true statement, y'all. When I met Larry, he was in the grind of many things. But when I met him, he was known as the man we call Mr. Lawful Money. Anything that was out there to be made with money, how to make money, how to use money. This was who Larry was. And now Larry has an initiative he's bringing into play that's called the H.E.R.O Network. Brother Larry, give him a shout. Let him know who you are, what you got going down, and we're gonna go into the breakfast conversation. We're gonna have a real good time today.
So, hi everybody. Larry Wiggins Bay, also known as Mr. Lawful Money, and pretty soon, at some point in the future, they're gonna have to add a doctor to the front of my name, right? Stop. So, what Al said, like, I've always been about, well, I guess I'll be honest. I guess I got a few minutes since that's what we're doing today. My mom ruined me from regular employment. My mother's a doctor. My father retired from the Air Force. My bonus dad, because I don't believe in step parents, he's Nigerian, runs his own medical practice. He's an oncologist, hematologist, right? My parents as a whole, the whole unit, and even my bonus mom, like all my parents successful by conventional standards. They did what they were supposed to do. One of them, an immigrant, came over here, went to school, got everything that this country is supposed to provide for people. My parents went to the military. One of them used that as leverage to go get a real education and build a life for herself. My father retired from the military, lived a comfortable life all his life, and has been cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, great. Never wanted for anything. I've never known poverty or want or lack or anything like that, right? All that being said, I can look at all my parents and say, I don't want the life they have. I knew that. I don't. School is cool. The prestige is cool, but falling asleep, driving home from work, or trying to get to the kids' practice because you don't have time. The prestige don't matter if you don't make it. Having kids, your degree, you got the job of your dreams, but you don't have time to spend with your children. The degree don't mean nothing. The bars and the stripes and the titles don't mean anything when you don't have the time. When I was about 6, 7 years old, my mom decided to take the step and start a business. And at the time, it sounded crazy. Well, I didn't know enough to think she was crazy, but I remember now that other people thought she was crazy. She did it anyway. Changed everything. We went from one level of being decent, well off, to a whole nother level of whatever, right? Seeing that progression in her as I grew up, I tried to go get a job. I did try to go to school. It just didn't make sense. It was just, I always felt like there was something missing in not just the education system, but also, well, yeah, primarily in the education system. Like from my kids' age to high school to college, institutions in our society now teaches you how to, it gives you enough education to go get a job. But if you understand the value of financial literacy and that everybody makes money, but the reason why 98% of people are broke and live their lives like that is because they don't understand money.
Okay. Well, let's jump on that for real quick. You know,
Right.
P2G network, and you know, we've been beating the drum for as long as I can remember about financial literacy being the forefront. Not that you can't make it as a person who does a 9 to 5, but the literacy of what you do with your finances is more prevalent than what to just make it. Because no one here has a problem making money. It's just like you said, making the money isn't a problem. We can grind. We can go out there and put in the hours, put in the time. But we have to trade something. There's going to be a trade, and usually it's 9 times out of 10, it's time with the family and the things that you want to do and the things you want to see happen in your life for real. You know. Now, Larry, you came from parents who had traditional high end. I'll call what I call them the traditional high end. You got people in the military, you had people in the medical field, and they got their skins, they got those degrees. But if you had to ask them today, if you ever had to ask them, do they feel as though did they get all the time they want to do to create the family they want? What have you ever had that conversation with?
No, that's a great question to ask. I've been asking them a whole lot of shit lately, just interrogating them. And you know what I mean? I'm grown now, so I can ask. But that is a good question to ask. But from ask the question again, because I have an answer from my perspective.
Okay. From have you ever had a chance with all the accolades that they have in the medical field and in the military and being retired and having the bars across their chest? Do they feel as though they've gotten to spend all the time they wanted the children and create the life they wanted to create around the children as they saw it, opposed to just seeing it as I've made it and I've gone the distance to create a family that can maintain, but have I got the interaction that I want to have really be? Have I created the space for me being in with the family the way I wanted to? If that makes sense.
I would probably say no, but I think that's more by societal design than anything. Because, okay, let me explain my answer. So my mom, although she made the transition that most people never make. She had the courage, took the journey, took the steps, right? My youngest little brother is like 13 years younger than me. My oldest little brother is 6 years younger than me, right? So there's a little gap there. I remember one time me and my mom having a conversation, and she told me that my brothers never knew she was a doctor.
Really?
So, right, never knew, had no idea. My father, he spent as much time with me as he possibly could, but we were in separate households. And this is where the societal divide comes in. he did everything he could. He did above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in the city where he is now because of the influence he had in my life, even though we lived across the country all my childhood. So if I asked them, do I think they would say they got everything out of it? No, I wouldn't. But not because they didn't try or not because they didn't know. There was things they didn't know. There were systems and processes against both of them that they had no idea were in place. And we're all just now coming to the understanding of how these systems work. And that's really what H.E.R.O University is about. Because until people understand how systems operate around them and on them and influence them, you're either operating within the system or it's operating against you. And you don't have to be anti-establishment, but you can absolutely create your own.
Got that.
And that's what I want to help people do. That's the idea behind H.E.R.O University. But no, I don't. I am going to ask them now, and I'm going to tell you, we're going to have this conversation later. But no, I don't think they would say yeah. But not because they didn't try, not because they didn't go their hardest as parents to do the most they could, just because we didn't know what we didn't know. And we've been put into a situation where we're 50 minimum, more like probably 100 to 200 years behind, you know, certain sectors of the society with information. We're catching up. So there's grace to be given there, but they did everything they could. I would say that.
God, look, I can't even argue because I know, you know, God rest her soul. I had the wherewithal to have this conversation with my mother when she was with her. My mom, she was one of the ladies who turned 15 cents into a dollar, and you could never figure out why. And and she never had a 9 to 5, but she made it happen all the time.
Right.
You know. Now I want to jump really into the H.E.R.O network, and we had a conversation. We just had a conversation about your background and your upbringing. But what does the H.E.R.O network really mean to you, and what's the purpose you really want to get into? What do you want to share with the people about the H.E.R.O network? Guys, I'm gonna be very honest with you. We had some technical difficulty. I'm still trying to get the rest of his stuff up here. So when we got it up, but I want him to share with you guys a little bit about what the game plan is for H.E.R.O University and how it truly came into its footing.
Okay, before I do that real quick, and quick disclaimer, transparency. This thing is coming out of my brain, right? So I'm still organizing. I know what it's supposed to look like, but for me to explain it off the top of my head takes a long time. I do have, and actually I think that's what I was doing right now, is trying to bring up some of the slides. I've organized some of the information so that I can effectively communicate it, but because of the passion involved and how new it is, I'm just saying, like, stick with me, bear with me, right? Where are you going, big-headed ass?
Larry, we're live.
Okay, I'm sorry. So H.E.R.O University, it started in 2020 during the pandemic. It started as just H.E.R.O organization, and the H.E.R.O stands for Help Everybody Remove Obstacles. Even before the pandemic, I understood. I was already doing business consulting and financial consulting, learning about money, helping people grow and build wealth and acquire assets just from where I was, unlicensed, not certified, just understanding what I understood and being able to direct people to platforms or opportunities that could allow them to take advantage of certain situations, right? So H.E.R.O standing for Help Everybody Remove Obstacles. Me and one of my brothers had an argument about it should be Help Entrepreneurs Remove Obstacles. I said entrepreneurs, he said everybody. I said entrepreneurs because that's a small, it's like a niche market, right? You don't want to focus on everybody. You want to focus on a small group of people and then expand your influence, right? It wasn't a bad argument, but I found out a couple months ago, he was like, not messed up about it, but he took it more seriously than I did. But I still incorporated what he said because it made sense. Because now we want to help everybody remove obstacles. That's year one. And first, H.E.R.O started as just an organization, just I could do the most I can do. And this was before I realized that I knew as much as I knew. And I know as many people as I know. Like, I don't have to do everything well. I know what I do well, and that's build systems and networks and build bridges with people. There's a lot of stuff that people need to know. Turn on reactions. Yes, whatever. There's a lot of stuff that people need to know that's not just financial literacy, right? H.E.R.O University is not built to create entrepreneurs. It's built to develop builders, people that are going to develop systems, processes, institutions, organizations that will outlive them, that will leave a legacy far and beyond them.
I got that. So let me ask you a question then. Because, look, when you put stuff together on the court, the brain is always, always modifying and changing. At the grassroots of being in between the conversation of being, wanting to have it be for entrepreneurs and having it be for everyone. And truth be told, entrepreneurs and everyone are pretty much the same thing. We just don't approach it the same way. Because there are people who are entrepreneurs they're entrepreneurs in their own job because they won't take the position of an employee. More likely they'll take the position of I'm the boss at this particular job. So let me say this: is it possible that in the building of your H.E.R.O University, it's not it is more for everyone. It is people can take what they have at the university and create the life that they want to have and truly, be be the hero in their own life.
Wait. My connection went out because the kid's car just pulled up and my phone connected to their vehicle. So
Got
the
it.
last thing I heard was you said in connection with H.E.R.O University, what? I'm sorry.
In connection with H.E.R.O University, could it be that the E for everyone and the E entrepreneur actually mean the same thing? Because there are people who take their job and don't want to be the employee of their job. They want to be the boss of their job, despite it's only a facet of what the business does. And entrepreneurs have said, we're going to transition from being the employee if they realize being an entrepreneur is more than just one hat, it's all the hats. And you can actually focus on all those areas in the H.E.R.O network so people can actually see, as the employee, you can actually say, hey, I can see this work this way and I can see it work that way as far as how to build the business and have it grow. And as an entrepreneur, you can take your individual dreams and aspirations and do the same exact thing. But the only thing is you're taking your employee mentality and flipping it over. And now you're taking on marketing, sales, you're taking on building the whole infrastructure of the employee side from the changing you from the employee's mentality to the business mentality and taking on those other five hats that you never really saw. And you're now laying the groundwork so people can see where this actually resides in their life as an entrepreneur. I don't know, is that where you were coming? Is that maybe I'm just because I'm hearing it
Yes.
from like the first or second time.
No. You actually said that's part of the process, right? So you've known me for a long time. I've grown up quite a bit, right? You remember how I always used to be like, forget your job, like quit your job. We trying to get you out of there as fast as possible, right?
Yeah, I remember
I,
that.
I still believe that jobs are sort of a limitation when people develop and live in their purpose, right? Because the biggest problem with a job is you don't have any leverage. You have to be there. It's earned income. You only have so many hours a day. So no matter how much they pay you, there's a cap at how much you can make because you only have so many hours. We have a finite amount of time. Well, So that means a job, it's a great place to start, but it's a terrible place to finish. Terrible place to spend your entire life, right? But if you have a job, especially if you got a good paying job, a great paying job, and they got good benefits, understand whatever they're paying you, that's allowing you to live your life, you're making for that company or corporation at least 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 15 times more than whatever they're paying you. So
Okay.
if you can identify your value to that system and that company, and you can find a way to monetize that value for yourself, maybe in the same sector or maybe in a completely different one, you don't have to just depend on your time and what you can do at this company or
Larry,
your income anymore.
I hate
Hell,
to
you can
stop
take
you.
that and just
La-
build a whole new
Larry,
business.
Larry, I hate to stop you, but you are cracking up. You ever cut a headphone? Okay. You
I
are
think that's
wherever you are. You have yeah. Grand Rising, y'all. This is Breakfast with the Thomas. We are wherever you at. You just lost most of your connection. You're crackling all over the place.
okay. How's this?
That's better. Awesome. You're back. I mean, you get in and you just started crackling all over the place. But look,
Damn, I don't know what I was saying. What'd you just ask?
family, let me let y'all guys know.
Oh,
This is Breakfast with the Thomases, and we're on 7 different platforms. We're on Clapper, we're on StreamYard. Thank you all for being on with us. Yeah, we're on this morning with Larry Wiggins Bay and the Hero Network, and he was in the process of explaining the mindset shift from the employee to the entrepreneur and how it lands and what he's trying to create for everyone to grab on and to gravitate. And as you can see now, I got one of his flyers up there so y'all guys can actually see what some of the things that the Hero Network are actually in the process of putting together. And it's a brainchild. It's definitely a brainchild. I've read some of it. Larry, the floor is yours, brother. Go ahead. Hit him.
okay. All right. So I'm glad that happened because now I can just sum it up real quick. There's a book everybody needs to read called The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert T. Kiyosaki, right? In the Cash Flow Quadrant, he explains there's 4 ways to make money. On the left side, you have the E and S quadrant. On the right side, you have the B and I quadrant. Essentially, the H.E.R.O University framework will help somebody traverse that whole process, right? A job is a terrible place to start, or a terrible place to, it's a great place to start, but a terrible place to end. If you understand, if you have a decent paying job, whatever they're paying you, they're making 5 to 10 times more on your work. So if you can identify your value and gift to that corporation or institution or organization, and you can monetize that for yourself across other platforms, you can keep your job and make extra money over here doing the same thing you've been doing the whole time anyway, right? Like Al said, when you go from an employee to an entrepreneur or an employee to a self-employed individual, you're not getting rid of a hat. You're actually adding more. But the point of going from a self-employed individual to going to a business owner is adding systems. This is one thing that I knew I do very well, is I think in the terms of systems. I don't just stop at an initial thought. When I have a thought and it makes sense, primarily my mind goes to how can I systematize, automate this? How can I leverage it so I can get it out to distribute it? That's just how my mind works, right? So there's some things I know I'm good at. There's some things I may not be very good at, and I'm not gonna waste my time trying to be good at things I'm not good at. I'm just gonna connect with other people that can bring to the institution what I can't give from my own capacity, right? Because this is not about, it's definitely not about me at all. It's about everybody understanding that we all have gifts. We're all innately valuable, right? But this is why it's so much bigger than financial literacy as well, because you got to get money to be able to manage money. We're all getting money, but until you find and identify your gifts, you're not really going to be getting no money for real. You're always going to be stuck in somebody else's loop, in somebody else's system, on somebody else's schedule. Like that's the point, that self-identification allows self-determination, if that makes sense, right? When you understand who you are, where you're going, you've decided your direction, that's when doors start to open. That's when relationships start to
manifest themselves, honestly.
yes attract to you, right? Because until you're sure about what you want, you can't attract what you want. And if you're unsure, confusion creates chaos, right? Chaos is not attractive. Nothing that you want is going to be attracted to you if you're confused and you don't really know what you want. But when you become clear about that, and it sounds like, you know, spiritual and whatever, but everything is frequency, fam. That's one thing. That's a fact nobody can deny. It don't matter how you feel about religion, science, it's all frequency.
Yeah,
So if we understand, we want to attract certain things to us, get clear about what you want. But the whole process of H.E.R.O University is to reimagine education, to help people get clear about what they want, identify their gifts and goals, right? That's year one. Help everybody remove obstacles, identify your gifts and goals, do the budgeting thing, you know, figure out a little side hustle to make some side money, right? Year two is help entrepreneurs remove obstacles. That's where you start your own business. This is where we implement business funding, retirement estate planning, tax strategies, because people don't start businesses for the business to fail. Typically businesses fail because they don't have enough capital or they don't have enough business. So we go through marketing, we go through sales, we go through, you know, it's books you need to read. It's people you need to get in contact with. It's organizations in your city that you need to be involved in that's going to help you get better at speaking and, you know, promoting your idea. That's year two. Well, a small part of year two. Year three is...
Well, Larry, hold on. Let's slow this down just a little because I see you about to jump off the bridge. You about to jump off the bridge, and I love it. Because you just hit them with love. First of all, y'all guys, I hope you guys are right now. You're on this morning with Breakfast with the Thomases, and you're at the breakfast table with someone who's in the space of passion and creativity. This is passion and creativity on the court, you guys. I want you really to see this. Now, I don't want to cut your wisdom. That's not what I'm here to do. What I want you to do is tell them. Let's jump back to one. Let's go back to one real quick. What you just told, you just told them the whole game plan is find who you are and get your mindset right. I mean, is that
first?
Further, find out what get your mindset straight. Find out what you're passionate about, and live your passion, live your dream, and then you're able to acclimate to year two, where you now can start building the foundations of what you want to create. Because now you know who you are, you know what you want. Now you're looking to find out who needs to be in your circle and in your sphere of influence, who needs to be, who's speaking the way you're speaking, and looking to be on the road with you, to run with you. Because like you said, you create systems. You don't do everything well, and first of all, I commend you for saying right up to it, you know that you don't do everything well, and you realize there's some people you have to find to do the things that you don't do well. So hear him out. This is a man who's in passion stage, but he realizes he understands creating the system, but he also understands that he doesn't need to do every part of the system for the system to work. He needs to find people who have that passion to do that part of the system, and then he's bringing in the education part of how the entrepreneur has the 5 hats, and he's bringing in the marketing, getting your small business together, and realizing that businesses were not designed to fail, but businesses were not. People, when they get into business, they don't realize that they have to put a foundation under the business that is estate planning and having a savings account and a way to make things happen. Now, am I saying anything that you didn't just say, or have I missed the mark? Let me know, because I want people to really get. This is where we're going with this all.
No, actually, I'm really thankful and appreciative that you're doing this, because I haven't really. This is my first time, I guess, really presenting the idea outside of private rooms type situation. And I wasn't sure that I was being clear enough, but you being able to break down what I just said concisely, quickly, means the points coming across. So yes.
You're speaking
Actually,
volumes, bro.
actually, you said exactly what I was saying, and this is the reason why I love watching P2G. Like why I want to connect and build and work with y'all. Like you guys are. When I realized I was gonna need alliance partners, y'all were number one on the list.
Gratitude, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Because y'all teach well, like y'all build well, like you've been doing this throughout the whole time. When I was questioning what I wanted to do, y'all knew you wanted to do this and took off. You know what I'm saying? So like in the spirit of what H.E.R.O University is supposed to help develop, not create, because we're not creating leaders, we're not creating builders, we're helping develop them, right? Because everybody has those capabilities in them innately at some level. Those skills, those gifts need developing. It's kind of like how Professor X went and got all the mutants and put them in
got that.
You know what I'm saying? But yes, exactly what you said.
You know, one of the things that you're doing, and I'm very enamored by it, due to the fact that what you're putting together is transcending how international education truly works. They have standard education practice, but it's actually performance based. The education is performance based. But what you're doing, you're actually tilting the system that we have here. Well, actually, you're about to shake it up real bad because they're
real bad.
Because what happened, the system we have is, for those who have been around long enough to realize that we have what's called the Rockefeller education system. Go to school, get a job, buy a home, whatever you want to call it. Get a school, get a good education, and put on 50 years worth of debt onto your back. What we're proposing to you right now, what's being proposed to you in the grand scheme of things. Larry, you good? We lost.
I'm good.
What we're proposing to you is the fact that if you can actually do what you want to do the way you want to do it and have a system in place that's performance based, so you can create the dream the dream and aspiration that you really want to have in place. Why do you need to go the whole 12 years? Why do you need to go the whole 16 years? If your game plan isn't, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a builder of infrastructure, as far as, when I say infrastructure, I mean building bridges and things like that. You want to do that? I'm with you. Go to school for 12, 16 years. Because please, the bridge I go across, I want to make sure the man or woman who put it together has the education in place to say, this suspension bridge is going to hold me while my car going 80 miles an hour across it is going to stay on the bridge. I'm all for that. That's what you do. And I'm not, don't get me wrong. I am not against anyone who wants to put the grind in for 12 or 16 years and go to school. I did it. And after I got out of it, I realized that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to school and get an education and be in the space of, oh yeah, I'm going to go do this. I wanted working in law enforcement, which wasn't my first dream, but it was my dream I needed to put together to keep a roof over my head. And understand that there's going to be times when you're building your dreams, you're going to see transition occur. And you may have to take a step back to go ahead, to move forward. There's a thing that says, take 2 steps back so you can move 4 steps forward. Don't be upset because you have to take a step back, because you may not see what you're looking for requires more tools than you have in your arsenal right at that point in time. And I'm sure Larry could probably attest to that sometimes you need to go back and get some more tools so you can make your dream occur. We've been in many we've been in many programs together, Larry and I, my wife, and we put many things together. But one of the core principles that we put in place is that we realize that we need to be a community building as a community if we want it to work. And systems, when you have a community and you have a system that works extremely well, it all falls in line. What do you think, my brother? Because I know
That's a large part. Okay, so when I first started, H.E.R.O was just an organization. It was just a nonprofit. I didn't the university aspect of it, the lesson plan, the tuition, not tuition, the curriculum, the institutional aspect of it, that just came about like within the last couple months, right? But it's because of the progression. What you just said. Sometimes you gotta take a step back, take 2 steps back, or you know what I mean, to regroup or learn what you don't know. Or I remember when we was in that one program, people used to tell me all the time, Larry, sometimes you gotta slow down and speed up. And I'm like, that's stupid. That's dumb. That's so counterintuitive, counterproductive. But life slowed me down. Life slowed me down for real. And I needed that. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't understand it then, but there's been a progression, right? So one of the biggest values I see in the institution that is H.E.R.O University is the community that we're going to build, right? Harvard, Yale, Spelman, Howard, Morehouse, they have alumni organizations that move their universities, move their institutions forward, right? Harvard started with 12 people. Yale started with like 15. With the library, with a group of men just reading books so that they could pass on information about how to direct and steer their community, because the elders and the clergy in that community were dying. So how do we make sure that our next generation gets this information? This is how Harvard started.
I didn't.
Go ahead. I didn't, for a long time, what you just said is super valid, and is one of the reasons why the university aspect is important, because we need the community. There's strength in numbers, right? We know this. You're only as strong as your weakest link. We know this. If everybody around you is broke and you're the only one with food on your table, you're a target. If you don't know this, you know now, right? If you haven't thought about it. So if the goal for us is to identify our purpose, identify our skills and gifts, and monetize them so we can build and create a level of freedom for ourselves and our family, and then lead others to do the same. Without leading others to do the same, you're a target.
That is facts like you wouldn't believe.
Without that last step, if you don't have a community, you don't really have protection. Yeah, we talk about financial protection and wills and trust and knowing law and commerce and all of that. But at the end of the day, if you're building something that you expect to lead to your next generations, you're going to have to be willing to fight about it. And that takes community. So I don't want to take it there, because I'm definitely not anti-establishment. But I do want to show people that you are absolutely capable of building your own. That's what H.E.R.O University is about. Giving people the agency to build what they need for themselves that will sustain them and their communities, and also at the same time teaching those builders how to lead and develop other people. Because if we don't pass along this information, our future generations will suffer and die from lack of knowledge. It's our job. It's our responsibility. My bad.
No, don't be. No, because I'm like, that's the fourth. That is the message that we've been crying since about 2018, after we got out of that last organization. We as a people, we as a group, have to realize that we must take the role take on the role from the elders, because the elders aren't going to be here forever. So we have to come back and bring what they taught us. We have to share that with people, because most people think, oh, don't worry, somebody else is going to do it. It ain't somebody else, it's you.
It ain't their job, it's yours. We all have traumas. We've all grown up and had different situations. Everybody wasn't blessed to have parents like I had. My grandparents was dope. I know all my grandparents. I still got a couple of them. You hear me? No, still got one of them. Hey, grandma. But it don't matter though. Like, once you become an adult, it doesn't matter what you went through that made you who you are. If you decide that you want to be somebody else, it's your responsibility to change it. And when you come across information like this, when you get in rooms and situations, you have conversations and you build relationships that you learn to understand have changed and change the direction of your life for the better, I feel like you have an obligation and responsibility to share that value with other people. If with nobody else than just the closest people around you. But if you know the closest people around you need it and can benefit from it, why be selfish? Why gatekeep? We're all stronger together. We all have the same enemy. It don't matter what your skin color look like. I guess that's probably not the story for today, but it does not matter.
Understand me, what you're and I want I'm just gonna be I'm on board with exactly what you're saying. We cannot gatekeep. There is no gatekeeping in survival. There's no gatekeeping in success. Everyone has this conversation of I want to be the one. I'm it. I am the source. Understand me. McDonald's and I as much as I dislike, I'm not a fan of McDonald's as far as nutrition wise. Understand me. If you ever read the story about Ray Kroc and how McDonald's came into play, the reality is it's a system. And Ray Kroc realized that the McDonald's brothers did not get into doing what they're doing because they wanted to sell hamburgers. They wanted to have a franchise that actually worked and built, and they created everything they wanted to, and they had to have a system in place. And to run a system, you need people. Because as much as the brothers knew how to own a single restaurant, what they didn't know how to do was make multiple restaurants and realize what their real value was. And the value that they created had nothing to do with the hamburgers. They didn't make their wealth on 15-cent hamburgers. They made their money on real estate. If you guys really understand how the McDonald's story really came about. And Larry just jumped off for a minute. He'll be back when his connection comes back in play. I think, let me see if I can get on. He may have gone down here. There we go.
Can you hear me?
I got him. He's back.
My bad. But to your point. Okay, so I've heard this for a long time, even before I met Mr. Best. But Mr. Best made it make sense for me, right? And if y'all don't know, if you can find any book written by Ty Best, or you can watch any video on YouTube, this is especially for entrepreneurs or people that have a dream. Matter of fact, just search YouTube right now, TY space Best the Dream, and watch that video.
I remember that dream. I remember that. Look, that turned people on their head.
So I had heard this before Mr. Best told me, right? That systems stands for save yourself time, energy, and money, right? And I heard it and it clicked. It clicked then, but I don't think it was till like a couple years later or it was probably like 10 years later when I met Mr. Best that he made me understand what that meant in terms for me, right? Because I come from a network marketing and sales background. I build and develop organizations, which is why I have an affinity for building and developing people, right? It's part of the process. You have to build people to build an organization. So it's, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But he told me, he said, in order for you to build an organization that's going to be sustainable long-term, it has to live past your charisma, because everybody's not going to be as charismatic as you. Everybody's not going to be able to break down, expansive concepts into, small bite-sized pieces that anybody can digest. That's a gift, right? So you have to, he said, if you want to create duplication in your organization, and duplication is the key to long-term success, right? You have to implement systems that allow people to bridge the gap between their charisma or their gifts and yours, right? And that's with any leader. Not all leaders are super charismatic, but that's why I know that it's some things I don't want to do. I don't always communicate at a high level because my empathy can be low some days. My energy can be low some days, and I just don't feel like thinking about the best response. I know this about myself, which is why I keep people around me that are like, whoa, Larry, you know what I'm saying? Like, Chill for a minute. Don't answer that. I got you. So systems, save yourself time, energy, and money. If you're building anything worth life, if you're building anything that you want to last a long time, systems are important. The stock market runs on a system. The governments run on a system. All banks run on a system. Hospitals run on systems. Your city runs on an electrical system. We got water systems. It's all about systems, fam.
Yeah, there we go.
So,
we got Mr. Ty Best right up there, y'all.
Also, so year 3 in H.E.R.O University is helping everyone recognize opportunity. And that's before year 4, which is helping everyone raise others. But year 3 is a systems year. Year 3 is where we show you how to not only recognize opportunities, but attract them. Because and it's not necessarily a 3-year thing. And you said something earlier. I do want the curriculum and the progression to be action-based or results-based. Performance-based. Yes, you said the word. So we are implementing that, but the goal, the ideal outcome of H.E.R.O University is far and beyond and different than conventional institutions. So I'm not competing with them. We're reimagining education. I'm not anti-establishment. I'm absolutely creating my own. You can get with it or get lost or get ran over. And we don't even have to fight about it because not everybody's going to understand. I can only help so many people because only a small portion of the population is going to adopt the mindset necessary to become wildly successful. And that small portion of the population ain't really a threat to the people that's been having money for years and years and years.
Understand me, the 98% is not worrying about the two new percent that are coming in to make the change.
Right.
Unless that
and
2% makes it 100.
I'm from here. And I'm from here, so they can't deport me like Garvey. So, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, Graham, yo, guys, I am, whenever I get around Larry, I get so amped. Because this man he's Mr. High Energy all the time because he's passionate about what he's saying, he's passionate about what he's doing, and don't get it construed. He said it to you point blank. He's not against the system, but he realizes the system isn't designed to work for you. It's designed for you to do what they need you to do to stay in the pigeonhole that they put you in so they can stay where they are.
Yeah, it's saving them time, energy, and money too. That's why our media is so distracted. That's why all this ratchet music is out here. That's why there's a sports every season and every day and a new war, a new pandemic, a new somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about distractions, but that's their system to keep you distracted from understanding and identifying who you are, because as long as you're distracted, you don't know who the real threat, who the real enemy is, and you don't know how to develop a solution to fix it. You don't know who to contact. You don't know who to ask. You don't know where to go. You don't know what you don't know. Like, they got
a system for a system. Don't worry about it, brother.
They playing on your top, and that's how the generation is. That's how this generation says it. They playing on your top, and you don't have to let them anymore.
That's a term I ain't never heard, but I got that. I respect that. They're playing on your top. All right. So let me ask you, Larry. We're coming to the top of the hour. If you had to say one thing about H.E.R.O University that is the culminating factor of what the university is about to create, what would it be?
That H.E.R.O University exists to develop the leaders that will create, build, and sustain institutions that will change the world for generations to come.
That, I believe, is a thing. Please forgive me. I got somebody who's trying to hijack one of my platforms. Have to catch him, get him over. I'm sorry, my brother. Apologies. Like I said, we're on multiple platforms, and we had somebody who just tried to hijack our show. I was like, you gotta be kidding.
That's cool, because we on fire. We on fire. Tell them, hey, join the team. Grow your team, and we will, because we coming for everything. And you know what's so crazy about this H.E.R.O thing? I haven't even thought about tuition or what I'm gonna charge because it's not about the money. I got money. I know how to get money. You know what I'm saying? My thing is showing other people how to, like, the peace that I feel from not having to worry about like stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I want other people to have. Like, you don't get this kind of energy. I was having a conversation with some, well, I guess we cool now. Like, he like a homie now, but I was at a family event. He's my fiance's best friend's new, well, actually, they're finna get married type shit. And they just met. So it was like my first time meeting him. It was like meeting new family or whatever. But we ended up having a whole conversation. And so I've been going over there for family functions for 3-4 years now. And when I go over there, normally I might grab a beer. I'll be in the corner. I watch the game, say hi, say bye, make a little joke here or there. But I'm like in the background. Me and bro got to talking, and we was talking for hours. And we went back in the house at one point, and they were like, I have never seen Larry talk so much. What y'all talking about? And I had to stop myself before I said, you probably wouldn't understand. That's why I don't talk to you. You know what I'm saying? But him and I just had the conversation because he asked me, he was like, because I got kind of excited about whatever the topic we was on or whatever. You know how that happens with me. And he was like, do you ever find yourself, like, can you express this conversation calmly? And I said, sometimes. If I'm intentional about maintaining a certain energy level, I can. But at a certain point, if you let me talk, I'm going to get there because it's all I think about. This is all I want. This is what I'm here for. Like, I don't know, the fire burning in me behind this right now, bro, is unimaginable. It makes me want to drop everything else and just drink a gallon of Red Bull so I have wings. Like, but I know that's not gonna work like I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, like, I don't know. When I remember Mr. Best just there was a piece about that man, and he would show you how much money he was making. So I knew kind of where the piece came from, but also just to understand like what he had built and the years he had been through. And like, I want that, but I don't want to wait until I'm 60 or 70. And I don't think other people should have to either. If we as a community start learning this for ourselves and teaching our children these principles, these strategies, these concepts, these timeless laws that have been expressed in all kind of books and literature across multiple languages and religions and time zones and eras, it's been the same information. The keys to success are the same. They always have been, and they're not a secret. If we would only start by understanding them, using them, implementing them, executing on them for ourselves, and teaching our children how to do the same from a very young age, they'll never have to go to work for nobody else.
Oh, that is
my son right now is filling out job applications, and it used to piss me off that he wanted to go get a job, but I thought about it, and this is the other thing. I wanted to say this earlier. It don't matter how successful you are, your kids are not gonna respect, to an extent, they're not gonna respect what you do because it's you doing it, you're their parent. Familiarity breeds contempt. You cannot be a prophet in your own land. Parents have this thing where they feel like they have to be the only positive influence in their children's life, and that is absolutely not the case. It's not the case for men. It's not the case for women. You do your children a disservice by not introducing them to environments that allow and foster their growth and development and leadership. If you can't do it, if you don't have the capacity for it, you need to kill your ego enough to put your children in a situation to be better than you, because there's so many parents out here that don't want their kids to be better than them. And that's why we're in the situation we are in right now with all these YNs and YBs running the street and this ratchet situation going on. It starts with us as parents, though. And that's kind of what I meant about, if I just start talking, it's just gonna come out like that. I can't help it.
No. First of all, one thing that, as long as you know me, when we talk, it's always talking about being at 100%. You are who you are. We're at the top of the hour, and I got to be very honest with you, man. We got to do this again. We definitely got to do it. Don't go nowhere. We got to go do what we do here. Yo, y'all guys are on with Larry Wiggins Bay. H.E.R.O University coming up very soon. Keep your ears to the grindstone. Let them know what's happening. Yo, you can get Larry on Facebook. You can get him on IG, and it's the same thing. Whatever what his name is where you find him at. But we got some things coming up this weekend. I want you guys to know, and I got to be very responsible here. 'Cause I was about to go. I told Ruby I was about to go off the deep end when I got on with you today. She said, "Do not go off the deep end." You two
I
get
think
on.
we did a good job today. I think we did a great job today staying
Do
on topic.
not
So
go
that's
off
dope.
the deep end. Grand Rising. My wife is not on with us today. She had to go take care of some stuff, so she left me at the helm. And I'm kind of enjoying this. I kind of enjoy being at the helm. But this weekend,
Very capable captain, my brother.
we have the master class. I want you guys to really get in there. We had to move it today because we had a bit of a scheduling conflict. So if you got your tickets already, we're moving it to the 12th. So just one day later, we're moving it to the 12th, July 12th. We're setting up this is for small businesses, and everybody can come to this class. This class is designed to be a donation class because at the end of the summer, we're putting together a master class for young people, which is called the Crypto Entrepreneurs. And we're going to have them learn for a week straight of all the things that we comprise into our 8-week program. We're going to be putting them down. And I want you guys to really think about this because this is the reality. And Larry said it best. You want your kids to do better than you, or you're pigeonholing that they don't be better than you. Send them to the class. Come on, get the class. It's $49. It's not a lot of money, and that'll reserve a seat for one of your kids or someone else if you want to donate the seat to somebody else. It's well worth it. It's Sunday the 12th at 8 p.m. And get in, get your seats ready, and it's gonna be on and popping. Next thing, I got a couple of things I gotta put on here. And right after that, we're going to be going right into I call it the P2G D.F.L class, blueprint class. This is the next step up. If you've been to our 8-week or our 12-week class, and you want a refresher and you really want to see how to get your nose to the ground and refresh everything you learned, first week we go into going into platform, reintroducing you to wallet and showing you how to access your profits on your platform. Then we show you on week 2, we go into creating bankroll projects. I mean high level income projects, having you create a system that is designed to work in centralized and decentralized areas so you can capitalize. And and as you can see here, we're doubling down on profits for next week. And finally, we set you up so you can actually look at your portfolio and actively create a portfolio that works so that you can actually manage it so you can see things coming. And one of the things I want to tell you about this, understand me. For the price that we charge for this class is $100, 2 hours every Sunday for a month. You get to capitalize on knowledge that will allow you to change the way you see the money you make in your job or however you create money in your small business change and develop and grow while you sleep, creating the same thing that Warren Buffett said. When you learn to create while you sleep, you are now creating profit and wealth. And that's the only way to call it. You don't start creating wealth until you start creating it in your sleep. And by coming into the Sunday P2G digital blueprint class on this Sunday, you can make that happen for $100. 4 classes for the month. Go right into our website. Go right into the website. Let me see. I'm gonna go right into the website right now, so y'all guys can see this. Don't worry about it. I'll skip it. Go right into the website, and you can actually get the information. Let me drop this down real quick. Uh huh. Bear with me, y'all. I'm gonna show this to you guys right now. Nope, share screen.
Hey, while you're doing that, real quick, I know I'm gonna forget if I don't say something. Definitely follow me on Facebook at Larry Wiggins Bay. Also on Facebook, go like and join the Hero University group. If you just search Hero University, it'll come up. Or if you go to my page, you can find a post from Hero University on my page or whatever. Also, three things everybody should take from this, right? If you don't listen to nothing I said, please go listen to that video by Ty Best on YouTube. Ty Best, The Dream, right? Also, listen to The Secret by Earl Nightingale. It's also on YouTube. You can read it if you prefer to read it, but listening to it is dope. The third thing, there was one more thing. The other thing was another book, but there's like a million books I can refer you to, so I'm just gonna give you the next one that's off the top of my head, and I guess that would be like The Magic of Thinking Big, or How to Win Friends and Influence People, or
Leaders or readers, come on.
Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. That was the other one I was thinking about. But we'll give you a book list and all of that. Follow the YouTube page. Follow me on Facebook. I'm on Instagram and all that too. I'm setting up like websites and systems and funnels and all of that so I can do email and SMS marketing because I got platforms for that. But I'm so fortunate to be around Ruby and Al. I really hadn't planned on saying all of this aloud to anybody until I had done certain things, right? Like, but this is cool because it gave me a chance to be able to identify what I need to work on as far as presentation. But this is real, fam. It's real already. It's real because I've already started it. It's real because this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's real because Ruby, Al, and I, and a multitude of others started this journey years ago. And this is going to be the culmination of what we started, or the beginning of the culmination. Because it's going to be like, you know how like when you're in the Marines and you got to cross the first finish line just to be a Marine, you know what I'm saying? But then after that, like you're a Marine for the rest of your life and there's more finish lines. The first culmination is H.E.R.O University. And then we run it through and over every finish line from now on as a family.
Awesome. We got, Larry, I need you to just stay. We got a couple messages on the screen. I don't want people to think we forgot them. You know, we got Life up from Connecticut. We got my brother down from B-More. Yo, study more. Grand rising to you, brother. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. Your messages were shared. Michelle Druid, 100% love to you. And we got some people here on stereo. They got some messages. Hold on. Mr. Mustache Cash.
That's a cool name. Shit.
I'm trying to hear what he's saying.
Go home for the day, you'll get paid. And he's like, it's good. And I was like, you know what? I was like, maybe I just need 15 minutes. He's like, okay. So I left. I went to the ladies' room. I dropped a couple tears. And I was like, my career, what I want to do. I'm working for this amazing firm. And I walked back through the front door of the office. And David watched me sit down at my desk. And the phone rang. And I picked it up like nothing happened. I was like, good morning. I came in, and David looked at me.
What's going on?
I remember I got an apology.
We're playing the messages from the show.
But yeah, I mean,
Okay. Not clear, but we got one more. Hold on.
Grand Rising.
Where's my wallet at?
Brother Larry.
Yo, Larry, Shelby said, what's up?
What up, Shelby?
So this is where we at. But right here we got the university. I want you guys to, if you want to go to any of our classes, all you gotta do is come right to the first page. Take a view. We have everything that you can learn. We have the master class. We have a link to the H.E.R.O University, RBCC. We have our Wednesday crypto and business class. Just click right on the link you get to it, and Ooh, I want to make sure I get it. Here is Sunday's class. All you got to do is click 5 to 7. And then we have the master class. That's the 12th. We make it go right to P2G Networks. We don't make it complicated. You ain't got to have a hard time finding anything. We make it very simple so everyone can get on there. Let me see real quick. And like we said, all links, www.p2gnetworks.com. Go right to the site, click on anything that you want, that you find interest in. We have a 12-week, we're going to also do a 12-week class coming back up in September as well. And once you guys really, our motto in this platform always is acquire, build, and protect. Brother Larry, thank you for being on with us this morning. I know you handle this in motion. I thank you. I appreciate you. It's been a pleasure. And yes, follow him on Facebook, Instagram, and go if you need to get any more information. It'll be in here it'll be right in the drop down. If you replay the videos, you can get all this information. Right? Just go back, play the replay on YouTube, and you'll have all this information accessible to you. So, Brother Larry, we out of here. Any closing words?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, what I always say to close, anytime I feel like I got something to say. Family, you're gonna have to apply yourself to supply your wealth. Because the only limitations you'll ever have are those you apply and accept on yourself. Don't let nobody else put them on you, and don't put them on yourself. Figure out what it is you want and go get it.
Amen.
Every day.
Peace. And we're out of here.
Love y'all.
Ooh. Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. See ya. Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday, pay it forward Friday.